Everyone, it's Lisa, and I sent an email out to my newsletter folks talking a little bit about the insights that I have gained about leadership, self-leadership, and team leadership from this entrepreneurial incubator program that I have been accepted to. And what is amazing is that I have been in 2-day sessions with Caroline Solborn and Anna, I forget her last name, but they are change leadership program facilitators. And basically they go into large companies and work with the C levels of people to really affect personal change, which of course leads to professional change and leadership. And what I found fascinating was that we didn't talk about management styles. We didn't talk about leadership styles. It was very introspective, and it was very asking questions about our values and what do we want to see in the company that we create? What do we want to see in the work we create? And what do we expect from the people that we work with? And in doing that and really tapping into your personal values, it was a very emotional experience. And I can't share everything that happened because we had a confidentiality to have a safe space to share. But what really happened was we all shared vulnerability with each other. And, if you're a fan of Brene Brown, you know how important vulnerability is. And what it did when we shared, we were just a bunch of strangers and sharing these really vulnerable moments, was that people have a fear when they share vulnerability that other people are going to look at them as weak or as not strong leaders. But the opposite happened. We all looked and saw how strong each of us in the room was and how much strength we were bringing not only to our businesses but to our lives based on the either trauma or hardship or loss or whatever that we had experienced in our past. And I think that entrepreneurs really have this a drive and that inner strength, and that is what makes them really good entrepreneurs. So it was this moment of bonding between all of us in the room. And I think we learned that by sharing our vulnerability, which is something that a lot of people recommend that we do more of, you actually show how much strength you truly have. And it was a great team building exercise and really bonded all of us in the room. And I just wanted to share not only that, but also, I talk about this song and dance of active listening and assertiveness. And I know that I struggle with that as well because it's my job to problem solve with my clients. My clients come to me with problems, and it's my job to help them come up with creative solutions. And so it's a lot of conversation. And I learned that I wasn't really listening, that I need to do more whole body listening. I need to do more really absorbing and pulling in and wait a minute before jumping into solving the problem. And so we practiced active listening, and it's very difficult. And I have 2 small kids in my house, and they are really great to practice active listening on because you have to be wholly involved and making eye contact and like nodding your head and not interrupting and not interjecting with your own experience or solving problems, and really listen to what they're saying. And once you feel, and when you go back and forth and you start doing this, you understand the power of what it feels like to be really listened to actually be heard and have someone say, okay, this is what I'm hearing from you. Is that right? To actually feel that is a tremendous also opportunity for bonding with whoever you're conversing with. And it just allows you to go deeper into the conversation, have a much more meaningful conversation. So that is something that I'm going to bring to every conversation that I have, but especially my conversations with my clients, is I really want to make sure that we establish that circle of trust and share either vulnerability or a status check-in with where we are emotionally and what we're bringing to the meeting together, so that we're more aware of the background that each other has, and that we really practice active listening back and forth, and so that both of us understand what is my role in this team, and what is your role in this team. Because me as the expert and you as the client, we have different roles and different expectations, but we are a team working towards the same end goal. And we need to make sure that our roles are very clear. And then we talked, after active listening, we talked about practicing assertiveness. And I don't know about you, but as a female, I sometimes struggle with being assertive in a way that is also calm and devoid of, not devoid of emotion, but just very calm and even keeled. And, this is a tough balance when you have active personalities in the room and you're trying to be heard and people are talking over you or interrupting you. And so it can become a very hard struggle to lead with assertiveness. But the trick that I learned in terms of leading with assertiveness is to state your assertion very clearly and concisely with confidence. And there's a bit of grounding that you have to do before you do this assertion, and ground yourself in what you believe in. And again, this is tapping into your core values and your core wants. What is it that you truly want to do? And so you can say very clearly, I hear what you're saying. I want to do this, or I want to save that for next week, or I believe we really need to focus on this. And you can say that and then have a real conversation about your wants and values, because you're saying it from a very calm place. And so and then it goes back into the active listening, and then the assertion, and then the active listening, and then the assertion. So that is what I wanted to share, just simply on vulnerability and then listening and assertion. And I hope that it helps you in terms of thinking through how you interact, not only with your team members, but everyone who works in publishing is part of a team. You either have editor, illustrator, designer, you have all these things. And so I would encourage everyone to foster those relationships in a way that is positive and really establishes that circle of trust and communication, so that everyone can do better work, because that's what we're all here to do, right? All right, please leave a comment below and let's have a conversation. Bye, everyone.